The first Mothman sighting occurred on November 12, 1966, in Clendenin, West Virginia, when 5 gravediggers claimed to have spotted a large, human-like figure soaring above the treetops. Days later, on November 15th, in the nearby town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, a small city located near Ohio and the Kanawha River, 2 couples go out for a joyride in the evening towards an area simply known as the TNT area. It's called the TNT area because during World War II, it had more than 8,000 acres that was devoted to an ammunition manufacturing facility that employed a few thousand people when it was in its prime. The area was abandoned after the war and converted into a wildlife management area, and then partly into a landfill. It always had a creepy vibe to it, especially at night. They didn't stay for that long before they all spotted a large, human-like creature standing in front of them. One of the witnesses describes the creature as having red eyes. He stated in an interview that if it was just him that saw it, he would have kept the encounter to himself. But seeing as how 4 of them all spotted this creature, that's when he realized they actually saw something. They drive their car out of the TNT area and speed down the road. Moments later, they spot the creature on the side of the road. They continue to drive past it. Whatever it was flies into the air and follows them. His car reaches speeds of about 100 miles an hour, and this thing is keeping up with him, swaying side to side, but never going in front. As they get closer to town, this thing backs off. They make a police report. The sheriff casually brushes the report off as a case of mistaken identity. He thought it was a large sandhill crane. Some cranes could get as tall as a person, but more than one person has stated saying the Mothman was around 6 to 7 feet tall. The next day, on November 16th, a woman leaves her brother's house. As she gets to her car door, she notices a shadow in front of her. She looks up, seeing the legs first, and then the rest of the body. She knows it's not a person, but she has never seen anything like this before. She runs back into the house. The figure follows her onto the porch. It glares through the window and stalks them from outside. The sighting lasts for about a minute, and then the creature vanishes. The sightings continued for months around the Point Pleasant area. In conjunction with the Mothman sightings were dozens of UFO reports. Even some sightings happening during the daytime, during a busy part of town, where multiple people witnessed the sighting. Some of the residents found the UFOs to be more strange than a large, human-like bird stalking the sky. Another element of mystery occurred when out-of-town visitors showed up. They were dressed all in black, and you could tell they worked for the government, but they weren't police. They would talk to people about their sightings, both Mothman and the UFOs. They would rationalize what the people were seeing. When locals didn't see it their way, they were threatened. All the sightings came to an end on December 15th, 1967. This is the day the Silver Bridge collapsed, killing 46 people and injuring others. Some say that the Mothman was behind the bridge collapsing. They seen the Mothman on top of the bridge right before it collapsed. Some are torn between whether this sighting was malicious or a warning. All sightings stopped on that day. All remained silent until 2017, when multiple witnesses claimed to have spotted the Mothman, or a large bird-like creature flying over Chicago. A security guard for Chicago's Logan Square went outside during a break. As he looked up, he saw something odd. He saw a plane flying, but something underneath it was moving very awkwardly. He continued saying it didn't look like a bat, but more like a pterodactyl, with how the head and the wings were shaped. It didn't have any feathers or fur, and it didn't fly in the conventional way that a bird would. He wasn't the only one that reported seeing something in the sky that night.